Welcome to another episode of King's World. Okay, what are we going to talk about this week? It's one of those things that only comes with experience. And throughout my lifetime and from the beginnings of bodybuilding to national level to the pros and to the Olympia stage and all that stuff, you start to put together a protocol. Each person, each individual professional starts to get his own protocol of what works, what doesn't, how to do it, how many reps, when to eat, all those things, all the factors that are involved in the bodybuilding sport, lifestyle, whatever the hell you want to call it. So we all got our own thing. What I'm going to talk about this week is King Kamali's top 5 secrets to bodybuilding success. Should be a good one. Let's get busy. Number 1, train heavy and intense to build the foundations of mass. Okay, so let's get more into details of what I'm talking about here. Heavy weight. Folks, you cannot get that thick, dense look without training heavy. There is no other way to do it. I don't care what type of genetics you have, whether you're Phil Heath or you're Dexter Jackson or you're a Joe Schmo, it doesn't matter. You have to train heavy, especially in the beginning. Later on, as you have established yourself years into your bodybuilding journey, then you can switch over to volume and reps and what have you. But in the beginning, you have to train heavy, okay? Heavy weight equals thick, dense muscle. That is the only way it can be done. And now, think of it this way. Here's a good way to think about it. Volume and reps are good, okay? Volume and reps, they build and they shape, okay? There's 2 aspects here. But when it comes to establishing yourself and getting that base, that foundation, you gotta have the foundation. If your foundation is weak, you can build whatever the hell you want on top of it. It's still not gonna look good. You gotta build that foundation. Remember, heavy, thick training, lots of heavy weights equals a big, thick, massive look. That's what you have to do at the beginning of your career. Heavy weights equals a beast. That's number 1. Number 2 on my list, you have to eat food. Oh, all that wonderful food. Oh my goodness. Folks, I don't care who it is in the industry. If they know King Kamali, there's one thing, whether they love me or they hate me, one thing they're all going to say. No one can out-eat me. It's not possible. I have a problem. I have a serious problem. My mom used to look at me and with her beautiful Persian accent, she would look at me and say, "What is wrong with you? Seriously, what is wrong with you? You like trash compactor. All you do is eat." Yes, that's my thing. Ask Dave Palumbo. I like Dave. Dave's a friend of mine. Dave will tell you, I can eat food. Food is my thing. Now, what is the importance? Why do we keep saying this food thing? A lot of you haters out there, you send messages, you go out there, you yap your mouth like you always do and say, bullshit, it's all about the drugs. No, it's about the food. Food, that's what the foundation is. Now, why do I keep screaming about food? Okay, here we go. If you want to recover, which is a huge aspect of bodybuilding, you got to eat food. You need to feed your muscles with food. If you want to cut up, if you want to get shredded, you have to eat food. Believe it or not, most bodybuilders, I would say about 95%, when they're getting ready for a show, they eat a lot more food than they do in the off season. You might think that that's the exact opposite and it's backwards, but it's true. If you want to get shredded, you have to eat more food. Okay? I remember, again, going back to my personal, my family, my father, he used to watch me when I was coming in the ranks and going into the nationals and then eventually to the pros. He would just watch me and he would say, so let me get this straight. You have to eat more food to get ripped up? I'm like, yes, Pops. You're stimulating your metabolism. Each time you eat, you're stimulating your metabolism and your body starts burning. Think of it this way. This is a great analogy. Your body is like a fireplace, okay? What happens if you throw a big piece of log in there? Nothing. It just sits in there, it doesn't do nothing. What happens if you just throw chips in there? Every hour on the hour, just keep throwing wood chips in there, wood chips in there. It just keeps burning and burning hotter and hotter. Same concept with the human body. Eat, 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 eat. Okay. The key to success to bodybuilding, the number one, the first thing you should have on your list, it's not drugs, you idiots. It is the food. Get the food aspect right, you're going to start to succeed. Food. Third bodybuilding secret of King Kamali. You have to combine powerlifting and bodybuilding. Combine the two together, which I call power building. You do that, you maximize your progress. Okay. How do you do this? Start out, this is my own personal formula. You want to start out with a powerlifting movement, okay? You know, even before I get into that, just ask yourself this simple question. When you watch the Olympics and you watch any of these weightlifting competitions, have you ever seen a small powerlifter or a thin powerlifter? It's not possible. It's not possible. If you're training like a powerlifter, you're going to end up building a dense, thick physique. So, the problem with that is you don't want to build everything dense because this is bodybuilding, and bodybuilding means aesthetics and beauty. So what do you have to do? You start out with a powerlifting movement. For example, let's say you're doing back, okay? Start out, after you finish warming up and stretching and what have you, you start out with a powerlifting movement, a deadlift, whether it's off the rack or off the floor. This is going to help build that, like I said, number one, the foundation to bodybuilding. It's that mass and the thickness. Start out with the powerlifting, finish up with the bodybuilding movements, the machines, the cables, and all that stuff. We have all access right now to the greatest freaking machines in the world. Use it. Start with powerlifting, move into bodybuilding. Now, what's the key to success to these two? Explosive movements with the powerlift. When you're powerlifting, you want to explode. It's that boom off the floor and boom off the shoulder and boom off the chest. That's what gets that thick, dense, powerful look. Once you finish that, then you move to volume, bodybuilding, okay? Reps, 15, 20, 25 reps. Pour the blood into the muscle. And one thing that a lot of you do not do, negatives. Incorporate negatives into your routine. When you finish up your workouts, always, for example, let's say you're doing biceps or you're doing chest, get onto that Smith machine or get onto that preacher curl and hold it. Let your training partner count. Come on down for 1 minute. Negatives. It helps. You're hitting your muscle, all types of fibers. You grow even faster. Number 4, use training partners. I love training partners. Okay. Not everybody can be a good training partner. What makes a good training partner? This is not rocket science, but it has to be a certain thing. For me personally, it's the voice. I have to hear this voice. You could put the greatest bodybuilder on earth. Let's use Marcus Wu, who's a good friend of mine. If Marcus doesn't have that voice, like if he says one more or keep pushing, it's just not going to motivate me. I have to hear that voice. And here's another thing that might shock a lot of people. Some of the best training partners that I've ever had in my lifetime and during my whole journey, they weren't bodybuilders. They were normal, quote unquote, people. Okay? Frank, Gabe, Bolo. These guys were cops, computer engineers, construction workers. They weren't bodybuilders, but they had that goddamn voice. And when I heard that voice, for example, Gabe was very nonchalant and showed me no respect. And he pissed me off. Loved it. Frank, he had that gangster, like that street hood thing. And I heard his voice and it pissed me off and it made me go harder. And of course, the legendary Bolo and his do more, one more, he was a gangster. He brings guns to the gym. And I mean, these are the things that I needed. It's that goddamn voice and forced reps. What do training partners do most for the person is forced reps. You can get 6 to 7 or maybe 8 or 9 reps on your own. Okay, let's say you're doing incline bench. Personally, I use 315. Okay, so I'm coming down. On the 8th one, I know I'm going to struggle. So all I do is just yell spot. My training partner knows exactly what that means. He puts his hands on the bar and just keeps me moving at the same pace that I started. Simple. That's the formula. Keeps me moving at the same pace that I started. That's the forced reps. And that's where you grow. You don't grow on the first 8 or 9 reps. You grow from 9 to 15 or 15 to 20. All right? That's number 4. Use training partners. And the 5th bodybuilding secret, King Kamali style, is rest. So underrated. So underrated. You gotta rest, people. I know people right now, I'm not going to mention names, who train 3 times a day, 4 times a day. They get into the gym, even when they're coaches, even when they personally know that they shouldn't be going back to the gym, they keep going back and training. They think more is better. That's not how it works. You got to rest. You need your rest. Okay, so what do I mean by rest? Try your absolute hardest to get 8 hours of sleep a night. The sleep at night is so crucial. You need that 8 hours of sleep. Number 2, take power naps. What are power naps? In the afternoon, you want to lay down on the floor, not the bed, on the floor. Elevate your feet. Put 2 pillows under your feet. Cross your arms like this. Close your eyes for 15 minutes. Believe me, folks, CEOs, this is something that a lot of people who don't have time, that need their rest, they do. Surgeons, when they need a rest in between surgeries, this is what they do. It's the power naps. Lay down on the floor, elevate your feet, cross your arms, close your eyes for 15 minutes. Number 3, take days off. Take days off. Everybody needs a day off. When I say day off, I'm talking about from everything. Just be normal. Be a normal human being for a day. Believe me, it makes all the difference in the world. Go out on dates. Go to the movies. Go and do something. Go on vacation. You need to be normal once in a while too. You need your body to heal, and your mind and your spirit. You need all that stuff to heal. That's a huge part of bodybuilding. And last but not least, massage. I'm a firm believer in the massages. Now, there's 2 types of massage. You got your deep tissue, where you put a towel in your mouth, and believe me, I go to a guy, his name is Master James, a Korean guy. Basically, his hands are made out of titanium. He makes me cry. Sometimes I go to James, I said, look, dude, stop this shit. I just want to just relax. So give me a Swedish, make sure you just get in there and it's nice and smooth. And I pass out. I'm literally 2 minutes into it, I pass out, and he wakes me up 60 minutes later. You need this. You need your rest, okay? That's the top 5 bodybuilding secrets of King Kamali. Use it, live it, be it, and you will get better. Okay, we're up to the 3 questions that I get from the fans. Now, I get a ton of questions. A lot of them are drug related. Guys, please, for the love of God, stop with the drug questions. Just ask different questions, all right? Because I'm not going to do it. Once in a while I might touch on the subject, but just, come use your imaginations. Be a little bit more creative. All right. Question number 1 comes from Akhtar. Akhtar asks, is it possible for a man to impregnate his partner while on a steroid cycle? It's a good question. Okay. I can only speak of all my peers. Okay. Ronnie, Dexter, Cormier. I mean, we all have multiple kids. I personally, my ex-wife and I, she got pregnant while I was 4 weeks out from the Night of Champions, and the other one before the Olympia, when I was at my maximum, quote-unquote, juiced out nuclear mode. So yes, it is possible, but, again, I'm going to talk from my personal sense. My sperm is super sperm. So I don't know about you guys. Maybe you got to go to a fertility clinic. But when I shoot my load, I shoot like Clint Eastwood from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, man. I don't miss. So again, it has to do with who you are, your genetics. But yes, you can get your partner pregnant when you are on a cycle. Question number 2 comes from Stacy Lacey 009. Stacy asks, we all know you are known for your legendary party days. Good Lord. It's good to be known that I'm a party guy. It's fun. I'll take it. Rank the top 3 places you've ever partied in the world. Wow. Top 3 places. Okay. This is hard, but then at the same time, it's easy. So I'll tell you where it is, and I'll give you a quick explanation as to why I'm picking these places. All right. Number 3 on my list, 3rd on my list, will be Seattle. Now, right now, a lot of you will turn around saying, wait a minute, King. You've been to Ibiza. You've been to all over the world, and you've partied. You're picking Seattle as number 3? Yes. God damn it, Seattle. K-Stout, Jimmy, Rock Boy, all those multi-millionaire, young millionaires, that's what I like to call them, my boys from Seattle. Trust me, I've never seen such bling, cash, and power and fun. And I mean, I've told you guys stories about the secret codes to get into mansions and, you know, the orgies and the sex part. I mean, the shit that I've seen. It's going to be a big chapter in my book one day. But Seattle, absolutely off the charts. Number 2 on my list, Miami. Now, I got to do a little asterisk on Miami right now. Not the Miami now, okay? The Miami that's happening right now is nowhere near or close to what it was 15, 20 years ago. Back then, it was a whole different animal. Miami, the beautiful people, the beautiful vibe, the warm weather, it's just amazing. The outdoor extravaganzas and the all night and all day on the beach parties. You can't beat it. Miami, beautiful. Will Smith was right. It's just something else. There's something about that place. It's just crazy. And I love the fact that the girls down in Miami call me Poppy. Oh, I love that. This whole Poppy thing gets to me every time. Miami's number 2 on my list. Number 1, come on, folks. Don't even try it. Don't even come close. New York City. New York, I had one of my best, closest friends, G-Money, down from Miami, come up, and all he said was, Miami, Miami, Miami. I said, you know what, you come to New York. He partied with me one time at the legendary Sound Factory. He walked around, came back to me. He goes, you win. He gave in. He conceded. He said, you win. Nothing like New York, nothing like the party scene, nothing like the people. You'll never go to a club and see more girls with 6-packs and their shirts off just partying with their bras. And nobody cares. And the celebrities that I've seen, nobody cares. Everybody's just having a good time. The party scene, the hardcore scene, and of course, my boy Victor Martinez. We were the legendary, we took this town and we tore it apart. So, number 1 on my list, Lacey, New York City. Question number 3 comes from Antonio Steps 40. He asks, well, King, what are your top 5 SARMs and research liquids in your opinion? All right. You know, we talked about this before, but this seems to be a really hot topic. So, you know, that's why I picked this question one more time so we can go over this. SARMs and research liquids. All right. My top 5. Number 1, YK11. Now, remember, I'm not going to tell you guys doses and all that stuff, but I'll just give a quick little insight as to why and what it does. YK11, it works. I've seen it work on myself and my clients. What's it for? Size and mass. Number 2, MK677. Again, experimentation on myself and my clients. It works. It's amazing. Fullness and size. The MK677 fullness and size, a little bit water retention, but again, the fullness is awesome. Number 3, the Austrian MK2866. Mimics Anavar. So if you're into Anavar and that look, again, I've seen it, especially on the girls, because they respond a lot faster than the guys. The Austrian works perfectly, almost like Anavar. Very close in the way they work, as the same pathways and the same look that you get. Number 4, GW50516. Energy. Pure energy, without stimulant. You don't want to get stimulated, but you want energy. GW is the way to go. And last but not least, RAD 140. RAD 140, strength, hardness, raises your test levels. Again, I've seen what it does. Good effects on guys, amazing effects on the girls. So there you go. Once again, another episode of King's World. Be safe out there, people. Keep washing your goddamn hands. Be careful. This COVID's no joke. And if you think for one second that this is going to be gone and everything's going to be normal in a couple of months, you're out of your mind. I don't watch the news. I don't listen to Trump. I don't do any of that stuff. Okay, what I do is I call doctors. Throughout all my experiences on my bodybuilding journey, I have become friends with some of the top doctors in the world. I call them, they're my friends, and I ask them. And each and every one of them has said the same thing. We are okay? Be careful out there. Eat, sleep, train, bodybuilding. And as always, love you guys and peace.